Another segment of At Home with the Gamecocks presented by Ford, and we catch up with Jacksonville State volleyball coach Todd Garvey. Great year for the Gamecocks in the regular season. Got to play a couple of spring matches before the pandemic hit. Coach, first of all, I know you've been back and forth between Jacksonville and your family in Kentucky. So everybody in your family healthy, everything good for you at this point in time?
Yeah, everything's been going great. Everybody's staying healthy and trying to be careful and kind of waiting for all this to get back to normal, but everybody's doing well.
It is a little different. Are you staying in touch, talking with your team members and I guess touching base with them to see how things are going with them at this time?
Yeah, I've been talking to them a couple times a week, usually just kind of keeping in touch, seeing what they're up to, trying to make sure they finish the semester off strong academically and just trying to make sure that they stay positive and keep trying to find ways to get better, even though it's a challenge now because we're not in our normal routines. I'm trying to encourage them to still have some type of routine where they get out and work out every day or get the ball in their hands, even if it's just doing some little things around the house so they don't lose too much of their skills.
So banging the volleyball up against the garage or the side of the house or
some of them are
like
having to be creative. I know some of their parents have rigged together some different net systems for them at home and just trying to find any way possible to kind of keep the ball in their hands. Some of them are lucky enough to have sisters at home where they can get out and pepper and kind of work on their skills a little bit just so they don't lose it all.
Is it the conditioning that concerns you the most, losing that, or just the skill part where they can't practice and work out like that normally?
I think a little bit of both. I think for us, we're kind of waiting to hear if we're going to be able to have summer workouts or not, kind of seeing what the NCAA is going to decide on that. And for us, that's really big because we have 8 newcomers coming to the team next year, and we were planning on kind of having them all be on campus and get acclimated to stuff and get used to our weight training program and just get to know the upperclassmen. So all that's kind of in limbo right now. I think that would be the biggest thing that could affect us is if we do not have summer workouts or anything like that. But all players have done a great job about still trying to keep in touch with each other and still trying to work out daily and keep the ball in their hand as much as possible.
Now, when you say your summer workouts, that's prior to August when they officially report and you get started for the season. Those summer workouts, is that June and July normally or just July leading into August? How does that normally work?
So our girls usually get to campus right around June 20th and are there for about 5-6 weeks. Are able to work out with our strength and conditioning coach, Zach, and they do open gyms on their own. As coaches, we're not allowed to work out with them in the summer, but it's still a great way for them to kind of, especially our new players, to get acclimated to how things will be during the season and to start building up that endurance and strength so that way come August we can jump right into practices and kind of go full strength without having to ease our way in. So right now as a coach, I'm kind of getting together 2 different game plans. One, if we have summer workouts where we can kind of start the season off a little faster pace and hit the ground running, and then one, if we don't have summer workouts, we'll probably have to start a little slower pace and kind of make sure everybody's in shape before we get practicing too hard.
And I guess those summer workouts also, there's some chemistry that's built during that point in time and some bonding too, correct?
A lot. I think that really helps to kind of get everybody getting to know each other better. They basically take a class in the morning, work out with our strength and conditioning coach, do open gyms on their own, and then kind of hang out a lot off the court. So it's a great way for all of them to kind of get to know each other better and especially to get to know the new players.
Championship season, you won the LVC regular season title. Could you tell in recruiting that helped you this year?
I think so. I think it helped. I think the biggest thing that we're going to have this year that we haven't had my first 2 years is we're going to have some depth finally. I really liked our roster the past 2 years, but both years we had some injuries that set us back at certain parts of the season. And when we recruited this year, we tried to really get depth at every position, and I think we have that this year. And it's going to make for a great competitive practices where girls are competing for every single spot. And I think that's going to help kind of propel us forward. But I definitely think it's going to help recruiting going forward, winning the regular season this past season.
As you mentioned, 8 new faces coming in. You were hit hard, really, I guess, with your middles because you lost both of them, your top 2 there. But you looking at the recruiting, I guess you've replaced that spot as well. But overall, happy with the recruiting class and, as you mentioned, the depth that they'll provide?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about this class. I think that it's probably one of the better classes Jacksonville State's had from top to bottom. We have depth coming in at every position, a lot of really, really good freshmen who I think will have a good chance to contribute. You never know until you get them in the gym and they're able to kind of compete against your upperclassmen, but I think it's going to make for a lot of really good position battles. And then we're able to add a transfer too. That's really going to help our depth, especially in the middle. She brings 2 years of good experience and is a really good athlete, so we're excited to have her as well.
Is she eligible immediately to play in 20,
Yeah,
assuming we get to play this year?
right. Assuming we get to play, she'll be eligible, and we'll start with this in August. And she's coming from Southern Utah. Kind of reminds me a lot of Kaylee Freer physically. She's 6'3", really good athlete, and hopefully can kind of help fill that void that we lost at middle last season.
Well, and you've got a new assistant. He's not new. Jacob Help was there with you a couple of years ago, but he's back now as your assistant. So the fact that he's familiar with you and you're familiar with him, I guess that helps the two of you as with everything that's going on and the uncertainty of things at this time.
Yeah, it really does. Jacob did a great job when he was here before. He was our volunteer assistant my first season here, and took a year off to kind of finish his degree. And now that he has his degree and we had the position open, he was the first person that I thought of and reached out to him, and he accepted the job. And it's great to have him back just because, like you said, he knows our system. He knows my coaching style. He knows a lot of our players already. And I think it's going to be a smooth transition having him back in the fall, and looking forward to having him back and getting, hopefully, running on the fall season in August, hopefully.
All right, Coach. We haven't really talked about Beach as we wrap this up. I know those ladies are disappointed because their season came to a screeching halt with all this, did it not?
Yeah, it sure did. And it was a tough day having to have that conversation. I know we had our athletic staff meeting, and I found out the news and called a player meeting right afterwards and had to go tell the players. And I was kind of in shock, like that. You just can't fathom something like that happening. And me having to tell them that, I kind of didn't know what to expect going forward. And I feel really bad for the beach-only players that were looking forward to our season, and especially our seniors who didn't get a chance to kind of play that last season here. But I know the future for beach should be exciting. We have the OVC conference that was supposed to start up this year that will hopefully get going next season, and I think we should have a really good team returning. So we're looking forward to that, and I definitely feel for those players that we didn't get to have a season this year, but in the big scheme of things, I think it was the right decision by the NCAA with everything that's going on.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks, Coach. Todd Garvey, Jacksonville State volleyball coach, here, our guest at Home with the Gamecocks, presented by Ford.